equinox. Yay, I'm just so excited for fall this year. The cozy vibes are the only natural serotonin I think I've been getting. So tonight's video is going to be 50 facts about fall/autumn, depending what you call it. I interchanged it throughout, so fall, autumn, same thing. Sources will be linked down below as per usual, and let me know what other topics you'd like. If you've already suggested one and I haven't done it yet, please resuggest. Sometimes I just forget or I get distracted, so it's not that I'm ignoring you, I promise. If you've suggested one, suggest again if I haven't done it yet, okay? Okay, thank you so much, I really appreciate it. Sometimes people just need to stay on top of me, okay? No, not like that. I just need to be held responsible occasionally is all I'm trying to get at right now, oh my goodness. Okay, why don't we just get into it? Fact number 1. There are 2 different dates when autumn could be said to begin. Autumn, as defined by the Earth's orbit around the sun, begins on the equinox, which falls on the 22nd or 23rd of September. However, to record climate data, it is important to have set dates that can be compared. So meteorologically, autumn always begins on the 1st of September. Fact number 2. During winter, there is not enough light for photosynthesis to occur, so as the days shorten throughout autumn, the trees begin to close down their food production systems and reduce the amount of chlorophyll in their leaves. Fact number 3. A study in the Journal of Aging Research found that babies born during the autumn months are more likely to live to 100 than those born during the rest of the year. Their study found that 30% of U.S. centenarians born during 1880 and 1895 were born in the autumn months. Number 4. Generally speaking, the autumn equinox always falls on either the 22nd or 23rd of September, but not quite always, because the Gregorian calendar is not quite in perfect symmetry with the Earth's orbit. The autumn equinox will very occasionally fall on September 24th. This last happened in 1931 and will next happen in 2303. Number 5. The first day of autumn has 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of darkness. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Number 6. In Greek mythology, autumn began when Persephone was abducted by Hades to be the queen of the underworld. In distress, Persephone's mother, Demeter, the goddess of harvest, caused all the crops on earth to die until her daughter was allowed to return, marking spring. Number 7. Fact number 7. We typically think of fall as the North American version of the word autumn, but it is in fact in widespread usage in England until relatively recently. Originally a shortening of the phrase fall of the leaf, the phrase was common in England in the 17th century. The word autumn entered English from the French automne and didn't become common usage until the 18th century. Fact number 8. Actually, wait. So do you ever think about the fact that, like, the people came and settled in North America, and the way that we talk, similarly, like the words and phrases that we use, wouldn't it make some sort of sense if that was, like, the way that they talked at that time and it never, like, progressed in the same way? Does that make sense? Am I talking out of my butt? It's something I think about a lot. Like, do Australians have accents like that because they were all, the criminals that were sent to Australia? Maybe I'm talking out of my butt again, but maybe that was like the, like the slang and like that kind of thing, people at that time, and like in that lifestyle. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm sure someone smarter than me has written a whole thesis on it or something. Anyway, fact number 8. When the northern hemisphere tilts towards the sun, we get warmer. When it tilts away, we get colder. Fall and spring are the times of transition. Number 9. More people go from single to in a relationship or engaged in fall than any other season. That may be because both men and women experience a higher level of testosterone in colder months. We don't have a great answer as to why that is, but more babies are conceived in cold months than any other time of the year. Number 10. Birds spend most of the fall migrating, whether traveling from one state to another, from North America to South America, or from the North Pole to the South Pole. Many birds spend the season traveling to mating grounds or finding food. Number 11. Number 1. 11. Fall tourism, aka leaf peeping. Leaf peeping, like peeping, brings in big money for New England states. The seasonal change brings around $3 billion to the small region. That's crazy. I didn't know that New England was so poppin'. Okay, number 12. Children born in the fall are statistically better students and live longer, according to the UK Department of Education and the University of Chicago. Fall is the best time to be born. Me, born in May. My brother is born in September and I'm jealous now. Okay. Number 13. All those falling leaves don't just look beautiful, they may also bring good luck. That is, if you're a superstitious person. According to the Encyclopedia of Superstitions, there's a popular belief that as many falling leaves as can be caught in the hand in autumn, so many happy months will follow. Here, you guys, I'm gonna give you a little falling leaf. Bloop. Catch it? Did you catch the leaf? Perfect. Okay, number 14. In a study published in the 2008 issue of Perception, researchers discovered that men found women more attractive during cooler months than warmer ones, likely due to the contrast effect. This theory holds that since men see more of women's bodies during the warmer months of the year, it takes less stimuli to catch their attention once the weather causes them to start layering up. I hate that so much. I get it, I understand it, but I hate it. Okay. Number 15. The full moon that occurs during autumn equinox, when the Earth's equator most closely lines up with the sun's center, is noticeably brighter and rises earlier than a typical full moon, appearing sometime in September or October. This harvest moon can appear almost orange, usually when it's closest to the horizon. A bit like a giant pumpkin in the sky, very seasonally appropriate. This bright early moonlight has long been helpful to farmers as they harvest crops, hence the name. Number 16. The fall has some odd effects on animals. For the adorably teeny black-capped chickadee, the season causes its hippocampus, the part of the brain that handles spatial organization and memory, to swell about 30%. According to Colin Saldana, assistant professor of biology sciences at Lehigh University, all these new nerve cells help it to collect and hide massive amounts of seeds that it will rely on during the barren winter months. Our hypothesis is that this exaggerated growth occurs when the birds need it the most, he told Science Daily at the time his findings were announced. Number 17. According to a 2012 study published in the Journal of Consumer Research, both men and women are more interested in watching romantic movies during the fall than at any other time of the year. The researchers chalk it up to the fact that physical coldness activates a need for psychological warmth, which in turn leads to an increased liking for romance movies. So fall is just the season of love, I guess. Who knew? Number 18. Number 18. Johnny Appleseed was a real guy. You probably heard the story of the dude who walked through large swaths of the American Midwest, planting apple trees as he went, but you probably also assume he was a character out of Folklore. In fact, John Chapman was a real person. For decades, he made his way from state to state, installing his death, his legacy took on mythic proportions, but in life, he was just a guy who really liked planting stuff. Number 19. September 9th is the most common birthday for those born between 1994 and 2014. For people born between 1973 and 1999, the most common birthday is September 16th, according to the New York Times. I know so many people born in the first 2 weeks of September. Ugh, makes me sick. Okay. Number 20. Whether you can describe it or not, everyone knows fall has a distinct scent, and according to meteorologist Matthew Cappucci, yeah, the smell is partially due to the leaves. When the leaves fall, they die, he wrote for the Washington Post. As they take their last breath, they exhale all sorts of gases, a bit like chlorine or the exhaust of a dryer vent. Smell is also linked to the stimulation of a nerve in your brain called the trigeminal nerve, which is responsible for the sensations in your face, including your nose. When you breathe in, that nerve gets turned on, which is why your brain associates the cooler air with a scent. Number 21. According to the University of Illinois, there are 7,500 varieties of apples in the world and 2,500 varieties in the United States alone. Okay, and what do I know? Granny Smith, Ambrosia, Pink Lady, Crab. I know 4. It's about 7,496 to go. Okay, number 22. No matter where you are in the world, you'll be able to find a pumpkin, unless you plan on visiting Antarctica. According to the National Geographic, these squash grow on every single continent except the southernmost one. The top producers of pumpkins include China, India, the Ukraine, the United States, Egypt, and Mexico. And fun fact, the top pumpkin producing U.S. state is Illinois. 23. Fact number 23. Pumpkin pie is more than just a pleasant reminder of autumn. It's also an aphrodisiac. In a landmark 1995 study, researchers at the Smell and Taste Treatment and Research Foundation set out to discover which scent aroused men the most, and they found that the smell of pumpkin pie mixed with lavender was the most powerful turn-on, increasing penile blood flow by an average of 40%. Number 24. The largest pumpkin pie ever weighed nearly 3,700 pounds. Even the biggest dessert fan wouldn't have been a match for the largest pumpkin pie ever created. According to the Guinness World Book of Records, the pie measured 20 feet in diameter, weighed 3,699 pounds, and required 440 sheets of dough. It was made by the New Brenman Giant Pumpkin Growers in Ohio in September of 2010. Number 25. Fall is the perfect time to sit down with a hot bowl of soup. Frankly, so many people enjoy broths, bisques, and hearty stews that by the year 2025, it's forecasted that the soup industry in the United States will be valued at $7.7 billion. The soup industry. I love soups. Soup season is so exciting. Okay, number 26. In the Northern Hemisphere, autumn lasts from the autumnal equinox of the September 22nd to 23rd to the winter solstice of the 21st or the 22nd of December. In the Southern Hemisphere, autumn lasts from March until June. The first day of autumn 2020 in the Northern Hemisphere was on Tuesday, September 22nd, and the last day of autumn 2020 was on Monday, December 21st. I don't know why I thought that was important. Okay. Number 27. No film with autumn in its title has ever won an Oscar, whereas spring, summer, and winter have one each. Number 28. Since 1997, autumn has been one of the top 100 names for girls in the United States. I don't know anyone named Autumn. I've never met anyone named Autumn. Or summer. Or winter. Interesting. I just thought about it right now and I was like, no, I don't. Okay. Number 29. Throughout history, autumn has been one of the most significant times of year. Autumn is when the days fairs, festivals, and other types of events. Number 30. Fall is not the best time of year to plant trees, but there are some trees that you can plant during the waning months of the year, like elm, honey locusts, and buckeye. They can all be planted in the fall. You can also plant rhubarb in the fall if that's important to you. Number 31. Weight gain around this time of year may not only be due to comforting fall foods like pumpkin pie and cider. Researchers have found that lack of vitamin D reduces fat breakdown and triggers a fat storage. Much to consider. Number 32. Red and purple leaves are only that color because of the presence of sugars and sap that are trapped within the leaves. These sugars provide plants with the energy they need to survive. Sorry, my hair is like itching my neck today. I don't know what's up with that. Okay. Number 33. Evergreen trees such as pines, cedars, and spruces stay green because their leaves or their needles are covered with a thick wax and they contain materials that prevent freezing when it gets cold. Early autumn is also peak hurricane season. Oh, I'm sorry, number 34. Early autumn is also peak hurricane season. Lower winds and warmer ocean surface temperatures after the summer create ideal conditions for major storms. By about mid-October, as the winds pick up and the ocean cools, storms get weaker. Number 35. When you think about it, it's kind of strange that fall is the only time of year with two names. Spring, summer, and winter each only have one name, while fall is also known as autumn. The season once had a third name as well. In the 12th and 13th century Middle English, fall was also called Hairfirst, Haerfest, which was the act of taking crops. Eventually it was known as harvest, because the full moon closest to the autumn equinox is called the harvest moon. There was literally a teeny little plane that flew over my house. Where are you going? What are you doing? Why are you a teeny little plane in the sky? Okay. Anyways, number 36. Bobbing for apples has been a popular, if kind of disgusting, party game for Halloween celebrations for a long time, but it wasn't always about the spooky holiday. It actually started out as a British courting ritual. Males were assigned an apple, and females would bob for them, trying to get the right apple for the man she wanted. If she did, it meant they were destined to be together. How adorable. 37. You might say you love the way pumpkin tastes, but it's actually you just love the way you think pumpkin tastes. Pumpkin spice doesn't taste like real pumpkin. That generally just tastes like squash. The flavor is a mix of ground cinnamon, nutmeg, dried ginger, and cloves, and has nothing to do with a squash flavor. Yeah. The way that I got so disappointed, though, when I tried a pumpkin spice latte and it didn't taste like pumpkin. It tasted like just the spices. I understand that now, but I assumed it was going to be more pumpkin-y. I was also like 14 at the time, and anyway. Number 38. Much like Halloween costumes, jack-o'-lanterns started out as a way for people to scare off evil spirits around Halloween. Back in the day, the Irish carved the faces into turnips, beets, or potatoes instead of pumpkins. Number 40. Fact number 40. Apple cider is nearly as popular as pumpkin spice during the fall, but keeping up with the demand for fresh cider requires a whole lot of apples. Just 1 gallon of apple cider requires 36 apples. Number 41. Kids born in autumn are expected to be taller, more athletic, have longer lifespans, and do better in school. But there's one other thing. Studies have found that babies born in the fall are 30% more likely to have asthma compared to babies born at other times. So my brother is born in September, and my mom had 5 children. The rest of us are all born in April, May, and June. And you're never gonna guess, out of all 5 of us, the one that has asthma, the one born in September. I'm also sorry for outing my brother on the internet for having asthma. I'm so sorry. Autumn, especially in poetry, has often been associated with melancholia. The possibilities and opportunities of summer are gone, and the chill of winter is on the horizon. Skies turn gray, and the amount of usable daylight drops rapidly, and many people turn inward both physically and mentally. It has been referred to as an unhealthy season. Number 44. In some parts of the northern hemisphere, autumn has a strong association with the end of summer holiday and the start of a new school year, particularly for children in primary and secondary education. Back to school advertising and preparations usually occurs in the weeks leading to the beginning of autumn. Number 45. Carnival, Easter, and the International Workers' Day falls in autumn for the southern hemisphere. I thought that I should add some of that in because I feel like there's definitely a huge association with the Western Hemisphere with fall especially, so I add some of that in. Number 46. Television stations and networks, particularly in North America, traditionally begin their regular seasons in their autumn, with new series and new episodes of existing series debuting mostly during late September or early October. Series that debut outside the autumn season are usually known as mid-season replacements. Yes. Okay. And we only have 2 facts left. Actually, I could only got to 48. I don't know what to say. So, 47. In Indian mythology, autumn is considered to be the preferred season for the goddess of learning, Saraswati, who is also known by the name of Goddess of Autumn. And last but not least, we have fact number 48. In Asian mysticism, autumn is associated with the element of metal, and subsequently with the color white, the white tiger of the West, death, and mourning. So, that's all my little facts about fall/autumn. I'm very excited for colder weather. Yeah, I don't know. I'm so excited